What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Thanks for hopping on out on this Saturday, our new stream day. Thanks for checking us out. I really appreciate that. Had a busy day. Today is Chinese New Year. And that means I spend a lot of the night before getting ready for Chinese New Year. And so that's always pretty crazy because that goes past midnight. I'm a little tired. Then I got up early, but the show must go on. So thanks for tuning in. How is everybody doing? I hope well. I hope things are good. Hopefully this volume isn't too loud on the music. It seems a little high. Maybe I'll dial that back a little bit. Still love this song. Whenever I hear it, it makes me happy. So like I said, thanks for joining me here. We'll let that play while I get things flipped over. Hey everybody, Trevor, good evening friends, Mike Smith from the UK, very good, thanks for joining us. Today we are going to talk about FT8 and specifically WSJTX running in what's called Fox and Hound mode. And it's basically a de-expedition mode that you use for, some kind of activation of an event or something special. There is basically the fox. Everybody's hunting the fox, and the hounds come chasing down the fox. What makes Fox and Hound interesting, from the hound point of view, it's pretty easy because you're only really interested in that fox station, that fox call sign, so it makes it easy for you. But for the foxes, for the foxy foxes, it makes it easy for them because it basically splits their transmitter into multiple WSJT-X instances, if you will, different transmitters. It shares one transmitter, but splits up that power like a pie slice, going to different instances that are going to transmit out and work QSOs, which is really, really smartly done. So again, thanks everybody for coming out. Let's check into the chat here. Chinese New Year meeting. My R-Finder radio is stuck in China until after the New Year celebration is over. Yeah, and it's probably a week. I believe in China they take off like 5 days to a week. I know in Vietnam they take off like a week. It's the biggest holiday of the year, and oh man, it's crazy. I'll be posting pictures later after the stream. I have to go. Can't stay too long in the after chat. I'll probably be there about an hour, and then I got to head over to a Chinese New Year party, and I'll be posting pictures in the live chat and probably hopping in from time to time to talk to y'all. Because the food and everything is just amazing, so it should be a lot of fun. Okay, so some of the news we have to talk about today. Let me flip that over. Oh, first off, give me that thumbs up if you could. I would appreciate it. Helps out the YouTube algorithm. Makes things pretty nice and smooth with the run in there. And again, big thank you to everybody for coming out on a Saturday and spending time with me here. And yeah, we covered Chinese New Year. Winter Field Day is, I believe, going on. Is it the whole weekend? I think it's the whole weekend. I'm always a little saddened by Winter Field Day because I don't actually have winter here in California, which I've got some pictures coming up to show you what I did this afternoon. And we just don't get the weather, so I have to drive out to find winter, which is a thing. That's a thing you can do, but it's always a fun time. Winter Field Day, there's a lot of activity on the bands for Winter Field Day. So if you are interested in that, and you don't have to be out in the field to operate Winter Field Day, but there's rules associated with that. So make sure to Google Winter Field Day if you're interested in that. Let's see. Oh, I will be. So the whole impetus of this event is that I will be on Last Man Standing, and it's the second week in February. And what Last Man Standing is obviously the television show, the namesake Last Man Standing. There is an ICOM radio station, and they invite people to come out and activate it. And they'll do different things like DMR, they'll do voice HF, and they will do FT8 or digital modes, and I'm going to do Fox and Hound FT8. So that's what this stream's all about today. It's just about getting set up to run FT8 in Fox and Hound mode so that we can get ready to do the Last Man Standing activation. So if you're watching this, and if you can, follow along because I will be activating that station in a couple of weeks from now, and then you can follow along and hopefully get the contact for the Last Man Standing. And they do have a cool QSL card, which I'll probably post a picture of next week on the next show that we do. And then on the 5th of February, Hackaday has asked me to host a hack chat, which I guess is kind of like a Reddit Ask Me Anything. So I will be on the hack chat on the 5th of February, which I think is pretty fun. That never done that before. I've been checking them out. It seems pretty cool. Looks like I got a super chat here. Let me hop over. Ken Sweeney, thanks from DEAC3DH. Thank you very much, Ken. I appreciate that. I will use that and probably get some more beer. Which, by the way, beer I'm drinking is just a brown ale, so nothing too fancy. This came out of the Hopsy delivery. It's got a play on words. It's like a Kenny Loggin. Seasons Loggins, Kenny Seasons Loggin, something like that. Anyway. All right. Also, if you are posting as you're chatting over here, yep. If you're chatting and you're posting URLs, they automatically get blocked by the YouTube bots. And I was going through my comments and I realized the spam folder was like really full, and it is kind of erroneously putting in URLs there. Even though you're trying to provide good information, it's like squelching all that stuff out. So if you want to send a URL to me or give me information or update something, post in the comments, of course, your thoughts. But if you want to send me a URL, probably the best way to do that is via Facebook, via the Hashnasi page there, or on Discord is preferred because that works with anything and we can chat that way too, which is a lot better. And the links for all of that are going to be in the description. Also, in parallel to this, I'm simul-streaming in Twitch, and my Twitch link is below as well. So if you want to check that out, you can. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. What else? Good. All right. So just a couple of links here, reminders. James Hannibal over at the Quirky QRP over on Etsy. Again, not affiliated with the channel, but friends of the channel. He's given us a lot of stuff to give away. And I've obviously done videos on the stuff he makes. He's the maker of the QRP, or the Slinky Slinktenna. Good stuff there. Lots of fun. Part 97 with their shirts. Where is the shirts? There we go. There's the shirts. My favorite one is definitely Run SSB. Single run, single sideband. Really smart. Links for these are all in the description. And then lastly, of course, you might have seen my RFI video that I posted in the beginning of the month. And most of the stuff I used is from Palomar Engineers. And people ask me what particular things did I buy. I'll go show you that really quick. Ferrite core products. And so Mix 31 is generally what you're looking for HF. And these toroid rings are my favorite. So Mix 31, you can buy them in a lot of 10 rings or 3 rings. Or if you go back up, they have, let's see, got another, Chris Brandstrom. Passed my tech in general this past Tuesday. Got my call sign yesterday. Only 3 days. Just now just need a radio. Yeah, that's fast, man. Congratulations, Chris. Good work. Very nicely done. Love it too. So many people are getting their license. I'm getting more messages, and I think we waited. You stuck with me. I said it would happen. The solar winds are changing. Things are starting to pop up, and that's going to be really good for going forward and having fun with radio. So keep that in mind. So this is what I'm looking for under RFI EMI Solutions. Is this it? Yeah. So radio communication RFI Solutions. And then you can just go to HF/VHF and pick your brand of whatever your radio is. I did the ICOM 7300, which is this guy. No, this guy. So $40 gets you 2 toroid cores and a bunch of snap-on ferrites, which are what I used, and it works really well. So that's just an FYI. Like I said, not affiliated with me, but I do really like the stuff they do. So that is that. So what did I do today? I was expecting a burger to pop up on the stream. I wish a burger popped up on the stream. I'm hungry right now, but I'm really excited because like I said, it's Chinese New Year, and the food that we have for Chinese New Year is out of control good. So I love Chinese New Year. It is a very favorite holiday of mine. About to head out to Winter Field Day. Glad I can stop by the stream tonight. From W4KEK. Grant. Thank you, Grant. Hey, appreciate the super chat. Thank you very much. Hey, there's the Wyoming ham. Glad you could make it, buddy. I appreciate that. All right, so what did I do? I went to the W6TRW swap meet today. This is, by the way, my weather right now. This is our kind of altar for Chinese New Year, which is what my wife does. She's Chinese and they're devout Buddhists, so I think it looks cool. Not really my thing. But anyway, went to W6TRW, and those are the booths that are there, all packed full of stuff. But I had an ulterior motive for going to the W6TRW. So this is Dwayne. He passed his technician today. Congratulations. I don't know if he's going to watch this, but he said he watches some of the videos, and so that's awesome. There's a Nano VNA that was being sold in a 3D printed case for $65. Not bad. The craziest crab TV. This thing is the TV, just the center portion is about this big. It's dumb, just dumb. There's the Goodyear blimp on my ride home, but that's not why I went. I went because... Go. Where is it? Where's my picture? Oh, there's no picture. Where is it? The build-up for nothing. Where is the picture? Well, why I went to W6TRW is I got my my extra. So I am now extra class licensed. I've got my amateur extra. So cheers to everybody. Thank you. And yeah, very, very happy about that. So that makes me pretty happy. One less thing I have to worry about now, which is good. All right. And there we go. Get that. Oh, let's see. What's the comments? Hey, hello from Baton Rouge. Although with all the rain, it should be Baton Humid Wet Stick. Yeah, I bet. So thank you, everybody. And I appreciate the kind words. Oh, hey, Carlos. Thank you. Thank you for general license videos. Got my general today studying with your videos. Wow, very good. Thank you. So very good. And thank you, everybody, for the kind words. Appreciate it. And yeah, I didn't have a bottle of champagne. I thought we had one left over from New Year's. I didn't, so I'm just drinking beer. But I would have popped that sucker open. All right. So I think that was pretty much my cold open. Appreciate you guys sticking through that. Oh, if you're listening to this on the podcast, because I pulled the audio off of it, and if you could, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, go find the Ham Radio Crash Course on iTunes and give me a rating. I would appreciate that. And if you're just watching this and you have that capability to do that now, that would be awesome. All right, so I'm going to go through this. We've done this in the past. I walked through the setup a bit, but I didn't really like how I did it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my 7300. And right now you can see it, and there's like, well, there's no S meter. It looks fairly blank. That's what you want. You want it to look like almost nothing's going on, and I'm going to show you what I did to do that. So if you go, and I've got the camera in the way a little bit, so I hope I don't bump it. If you go to Function, AGC is off, but if you hold it down, you can scroll the tuning wheel here, and then your S meter comes back. We've got over an S9 noise on FT8 right now, but I want that off. AGC off is what I want. So we're going to exit out of that, and we're going to go to Menu, and we'll bring back the meter. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing you want to do when you're running FT8 or WSJTX, this is for the 7300, but you're going to want to do this, whatever it is with your radio. Go to your filtering or however you do this, and you want the bandwidth to be as open as possible, right? So open that thing up all the way, which this tops out at 3600. So go back to meter. So meter is what I leave the radio on so that you can see your ALC, which we're going to talk about ALC, and your SWR. It can all be seen. You can watch it, and then you get that temp window so you know if you're running the radio hot or whatever. These are all things that make the 7300 really, really good for running any digital mode, not just FT8. So keep that in mind. All right. Here we go. So we're looking at just FT8. The only thing I'm running that's special is I'm running JT Alert, which is down here in the bottom, but you don't even need that. The reason why I'm running it is because I have it connected to my log, my N3FJP logging software. So when I log something in FT8, it drops it into N3FJP. That's it. So we'll bring that back up. So the first thing you have to do is, this is just running, which I guess you'd call like vanilla FT8. So the first thing we need to do is tell it, and I'm going to show you how to set yours up because hip Oh, I thought you said blurry. Or maybe that's just my eyes, because the second monitor is where I have all the comments, so I'm looking up to do it. So, anyway, so the first thing you're going to do is get it into FT8 hounded mode, Fox and Hound mode. Dawn says, gave some to Callum earlier, can't leave you out. W3BJU. Oh, you know what? That's a good... I got to mention Callum, too. So, Callum streams, I think, 2 hours before 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in comparison to me. And I think that's a cool little Saturday. You know, you could go watch Cal, you could grab some food, come back, watch me. That's pretty good. I like that. So, that was cool. Sitting in the comments and not having to stream, just comment back and forth with him was a lot of fun. And I saw a lot of people in there, like the Smoking Ape. He was in there. That was nice. So very, very good. And thank you, Don. I appreciate that. So we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Settings. And the first thing I'm going to do is, this is just to get ready for Last Man Standing, is I'm going to tell you to go ahead and right-click on, or sorry, go to the Frequencies tab, which is that guy. Right-click in this table somewhere and click Insert. And you want to take the mode to FT8. You can leave IARU region the same. And type in 7.082 and put that point in there, or else I get all screwed up. Megahertz. I will be operating on that frequency. At least that's my plan right now. So if anything changes, you'll know in the Facebooks and wherever that gets posted. But that's the plan right now. I've already done that, though, so if you do that now, if you're following along with me, it'll make things a lot easier as we move forward. So thanks again for that. All right, go to the Advanced tab, which is right there. And under Special Operating Activity, you're going to click that check, and you're going to click Hound. This is for you. You're going to click Hound, and you're going to hit OK. So a couple of things to note, and why don't we go ahead and jump to that frequency now. So the way to do that is go to 40 and go to 7.082, and hopefully that should clear a lot of this out. So we'll clear that out, and we'll clear that out. I did that by right-clicking on the two windows. So now we should get a clear waterfall, which is going to make this a little bit easier to see. But what you're going to do when you're in this Hound mode is you're going to want to shift-click the waterfall, and there's a couple ways of doing this. You can shift click, which moves your transmit frequency, which is this little upper upside down red U on the top. Or you can right click and you can say set, receive, and transmit offset. What that's doing is it's basically setting where WSJTX is going to transmit on that given frequency when you're in Hound mode. And when you're in Hound mode, you want to make sure you're above 1,000 kilohertz. Or sorry, hertz. 1,000 hertz. So make sure you're above that line. Don't go below that line when you're trying to call anyone in Fox and Hound mode. It won't work. It's kind of like operating split. And operating split is where the station that's calling is listening on a different frequency than they're calling on. The reason for that is so the weaker signal stations can still get out without being stepped on by the local higher power stations. That's just one reason, but it makes things a lot cleaner to see. So if you're following along at home, hopefully you're at this. I'll wait a little bit to see if anybody is... Oh, there you go. Yeah, so Don also said, don't forget Dave Kassler at 1900 UTC. There you go. So that's right. Well, does he do it consistently every week now? If he does, that's great. Saturday's like the ham radio live stream day then. That's going to be super. That's awesome. So hopefully he still is doing it. I believe he was, but anyway. All right, so hopefully you have this all set up now. I will show you this, though, while you're at it, because it's going to make things a little bit easier for you. When you're first using WSJTX, you're probably not messing with the controls for the waterfall that much, and that's okay. But what I will tell you is right here under Bins Pixel 2, if you bump that up to 3, let me show you what it does. Now you're getting way more of the hertz ticks along the line. For me, since the bandwidth space of my radio is at 3.5 megahertz, I don't get much out of having 3.5 and up under there. And in fact, you get this weird like nulling effect going on. So I'm just going to drop it back down to 2. And 2 is probably where you want to be, depending on what your radio is putting out. For start hertz, I set it to 100. And for spec, I leave it at 25%. And then I go in and adjust things like waterfall gain. And you're going to have to play around with this. This is going to be dependent on your system. But the more you play around with it, you're going to be a little bit, you'll see different signals, different activity on the waterfall. It's sometimes good to lower the spectrum gain, and that's just a visible thing. And then you have the waterfall gain, which is above it, which is this guy right here. And that will quiet out some of the speckles, I guess you can say, or some of the larger signals. It'll drop them down a little bit so that they're not too verbose. Like I've just did that right now, and we should see from that crazy waterfall, which is just regular FT8 because everybody's on the air right now, to just before it where it's still kind of speckled, and now after that we've lowered it a little bit and it should be a little bit more blacks, a little bit clearer. Oh yeah, that's right, Quartz Fest is on. That's right, Quartz Fest is on. I really wish I could have done that, but again, it's Chinese New Year, and Chinese New Year is a big family holiday here, so. Solid Halan says, guess what? I passed my tech exam. Congratulations. You should invite. Blues Dude says, if you and Callum really want to make your Saturday shows great, you should invite women, attractive women, in your shack like K6UDA does in California does. Well, okay then. Now I know what to do. I'm kind of falling off the screen a little bit here, aren't I? I want to sit here, so let's adjust this. Let's make this right. Okay. Hopefully that's a bit better. Yeah. All right, so you're all set up for hound mode, basically. Now, if you're on 7.082, if you're on HF right now, that's 40 meters. Tune up your antennas. I'll tune up mine right now. And I'm going to show you what Fox looks like, just so you can see it. And you're going to see it live while trying to work while I'm trying to work you, hopefully, if you're following along with this. Because right now I basically singled myself out in a frequency space where there is nobody. So if nobody calls back, at least I showed you what it looks like. So I'm going to change this over to Fox. I'm going to go back into settings, under advanced, under special operating activity, Fox, and I'll hit OK. Now my whole screen has changed and I picked up this new Fox log window. And so I'll slide that right here over my shoulder. So a couple of things you get. This tab 3 has changed. The transmit is at 300 hertz, which I'm going to leave. Basically, that means I'm going to start transmitting about right here on that waterfall. Remember I said keep it above 1000 hertz? Well, I'm going to be at 300, and there's going to be a couple of me transmitting. And so that's the space I want to be in. And I have left hold TX frequency on. Now, if you turn that off, if you're ever in a situation of running Fox and Hound mode and you're the Fox, that will like move the frequency around a little bit. I don't know that it's automatic, but from the documentation, it sounds like maybe it is, but I don't know. So I've got that on. Now, the N list 12 is basically over here on this left side, right? On regular FT8 or regular WSJTX when you're running FT8, you get all the heard stations. Well, when you're running Fox mode, it's only going to show you stations that are replying to your calls. So that's nice. That gives you 12 stations that are looking to make a contact with you. I'm not going to mess with the DB right now, or we may change that. And then N slots. N slots is if you thought of your radio as a pie, your transmitter as a pie, and you sliced it up. So that will be 3 different instances, basically, that I'm running FT8 on. So that's it. I've tuned up my radio. In fact, let me do that again because we're running split. So hold on. What's the best way to do this? You know what? We'll leave it at that for right now. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a regular CQ, which just in this drop-down. If you wanted to, you could say CQ and North America, CQ Section 1, CQ wherever, South America, Africa, etc. But I'm just going to say CQ. I am on my 40-meter antenna, and we're going to fire it off. Or not. What? What's going on? Okay, it was working. Nothing like live radio or live whatever. Okay, so there we go. There's that. Good. Okay, maybe it just didn't like it. I'm gonna close WSJTX and I'm gonna reopen it. Live. Nothing better than live, man. All right, so I'm checking my hertz are still the same. Whole TX is the same. There we go. All right, so we're going to call CQ right now. And if we did it, let's see. There we go. Don't you have to stuff to populate in your send stuff? I don't know. I don't think so. Yep. So there we go. There's that floating behind me a little bit. We'll shrink him down. Actually, we'll shrink him down a lot. So I'm calling CQ if anybody can hear me, if you're monitoring or if you're trying to run Hound mode and try, that would be cool. Yes, so I'm going to do HF instead of DMR because it turns out they got the owner of the Papa system was also planning on going out, and they were like, well, shouldn't he just do DMR? I'm like, yes, absolutely. He runs a repeater system. He should absolutely be doing DMR. And they're like, okay, we'll have him do DMR. I'm like, all right. So here's a good time to talk about ALC since we're playing with this a little bit. So ALC is this little power toggle bar thing right here. You can control your ALC by going up and going down. And with ALC, you want it to be just right on that little bar right there. I know this whole bar is red and it's, oh, we've got somebody. K6SJT. So I'm going to double click him. Wait, there we go. He's moved over there. So hopefully that should start. So this was the station's calling DXpedition. I'm a DXpedition now. Calling me, moved over, and now he's in the worked area. So this is on my receive frequency. So K6SJT is at a -16. We should be able to make this contact, hopefully. I actually don't know. Did you? Oh, no, I'm at a -16. So depending on how much power you have, you should be able to rock that. We'll see. Maybe not. And as an FYI, it's not really related to... well, there's somebody else in there. I see somebody right there in the waterfall. If you're running WSJTX, you can go to decode deep. That seems to help sometimes. I may switch that off, though. Go back to normal. There we go. There's another one. So I'll throw them on the pile. So hopefully if we got... Ooh. VE6NRP. Right on. Oh, and it's not connecting to my log, it looks like. Oh, that's why. Because you've got to be on a special... I don't even need this. We're not even going to use that. So there's our log. Looks like we have K6SJT in the log. I received a -20 and sent -16. And then we have VE6 NRP calling, and we got a -20. So 15 and 20 so far. 16 and 20. Either way, we're good. So could you imagine, let's say you're Matt, AE4MQ, and you're going to go down to the Dry Tortugas, and you're going to activate, and all you got to do is set this up, and you can kick back. Don't mind that. In fact, I'm going to close this because we don't need it. So I don't need JT Alert. You just get to kick back on the beach there. Oh, wait. Wait. What's going on here? Hold on. Am I on the wrong frequency? Somebody said, are we supposed to be on? We are. Okay, we're good. Hopefully I didn't disrupt the whole process. We didn't finish that contact with W3BJU is trying. Don's trying. Come on, Don. Let's make it happen. And in fact, I can probably just move this guy up here. It's more of a reference than anything. Now, I'm definitely not... wait, where am I pointing? Oh, that might help. Let's bring her mainland a little bit. Just so you can see an idea of what's going on with the 7300. But I don't really want to clobber the activity screen. So I think we can turn... There we go. W4UWC. So double click, add him to the list here. He's -18. So ideally, if you're like on a... Sorry about that. I am working split, but you don't have to be working split. Split just means it's going to jump around. Why is it? Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So I hear some tones in there. I hear FT8. There we go. So hopefully, all you need to do, this is all you need to do. Again, you're the Hound. You're seeing my screen. I'm the Fox. So don't try and copy my screen. I'm going to turn that logo off. That's just going to make things more confusing. And don't mind my activate windows. So we got 3 contacts so far. If you're in Hound mode, remember, set the frequency for, go in and set a frequency for 7.082 megahertz. Then you're going to go into your little drop down and you're going to click 7.082 megahertz. And then just listen, because I call the software will actually automatically call CQ for the Fox station. So here we go. AF6L. So we'll add AF6L to the list. So you can just sit here, basically, if you're the DX station. Again, if you're Matt, why did I just blank on his? I just said it. AE4NQ? Why did I mess that up? Anyway, so you're Matt, one of our wonderful admins, and he's planning his Dry Tortugas DXpedition. You can sit on a beach and just do this, running off the Raspberry Pi. That's it. I don't even need 3 slots, really. I could just run on 2 right now. We're not getting enough people. In fact, let me do that. I will even wrapped up this contact, and then I'll switch it over. I'll just drop it down to 2 and see if that doesn't blow things up. So I dropped it from 3 to 2. So that should be putting out more A4MQ. Thank you, Carol. God, I blanked on it. I said it earlier. Sorry, Matt. Matt, by the way, there we go. All right, we got the receive back there. So, very good. Matt was the one who sent me the book on the extra that helped a lot. So, thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. So, there's like a myriad videos out there on getting FT8 up and running. This is not that. This is if you already have FT8 running and you wanted to run Fox and Hound. And specifically Fox and Hound, and somebody's not doing it right because they're tuned up on the free. So, someone is transmitting right here and right here. You got to be up here above 1000. So shift click, hold down shift and click somewhere above 1000. If you're trying to talk to me, if you're one of these stations, it won't let me hear you. You got to shift click on the waterfall above this up here. Anything above 1000, I'll hear you. So now I'm calling CQ because nobody's coming in. So because I have the internet, I can pull up some. I don't know that this will work, but we'll see. I don't think it will. No, it won't because it's not on the standard frequency. Oh, no, it is because they're reporting on me. So the people listening have to report. That's right. That's how it works. See, this is a nice way to do this. If you go somewhere kind of cool, you could do a soda activation like this. You could just set up Fox and Hound and be like, I'm just gonna chill. Ideally, you wouldn't do that though. You'd probably just run it in regular mode. Can I just drop this? Because I'm not getting that many people. Let's just do that. That looks better. And then I can embiggen this. Can I? Nope, cannot. Somebody just tuned up. They tuned up. I'll show you where they tuned up. Right there. Or maybe it's just a jammer. Engineer Comer, thank you very much for watching the videos. That's it. AF6L, so it pulls you down. That's right. Good point. I've never actually run Fox before, really, because I didn't really have any people that would be, like, trying to contact me. So that's obviously what we did this. So very cool. That's kind of how it works. I will leave. Actually, I'm going to let this run a second, and I'm going to fill up my beer again because I'm celebrating because I got my extra. I'll be right back. All right. I'm just glad we could prove a concept of it. I'm not even that bummed that there's only been 4 contacts. But also 40 could be a little weird right now. Let's see if the other station was reporting their I kind of wanted to see where they were at, but it's okay. All right. That's pretty much how it works. That was quick. Yep, because that's it. Listening here but not receiving anything. That's 4 more than I got. Oh, there's somebody. Let's see where they're at. Oh, they're coming in right there. So it's nice about being the Foxes, you know who they're talking to. They're talking to you, and there it is right there. So they're coming in on, what is that, 14 hertz? AC3DH. Ready? There we go. K6SJT. Very good. Nice working you as your first contact. Looking forward to Last Man Standing. So yeah, this is what we're going to do for Last Man Standing. So if you can get this sorted out, and believe me, you're going to have an easier time working me right now. So if you want me in your logbook, if you've not worked me before, now is the time to do it, because it's going to be much harder to work me for Last Man Standing, because there's going to be more people trying, and they have a ton of RFI in the studio. That studio is a shooting studio. So you imagine there is common mode everywhere. Common mode RFI bouncing off the walls, just completely blowing the signal. So, you know, if you want to, try now. Somebody was in there, but they didn't decode. Oh, there we go. We got it. I think there was a light one in here too. So here's a good thing to show. See how you got all this like salt and pepper kind of thing going on in the waterfall? On my end, it looks more yellow. So you can dial that back a bit, and it should darken it up. So there you go. Hopefully that shows on the video. But now the actual calls, even the light ones, even here, are they stand out more. So same like that too. All right, I'm going to turn on the call-ins if anybody wants to call in. And call-ins today, anything you want to talk about, just call in. We'll figure it out. Well, I guess not anything. If you could keep it ham radio related, that'd be nice. Oh, well, yeah, that's right. I'll talk about that later. So again, ALC as well, right? Our ALC is still low, just to point that out. That was a big thing, to make sure you do that so you're not splattering all over the space. People appreciate that. Well, like I said, it was good to know it's working at least. Let's see. Kenny G, like the Kenny G, says hello from Bradenton, Florida. Carol, hey Carol, says what time will you be on set? So I don't really know. It will be in the early afternoon. I know that for sure. Royce, and once I know when the time will be, actually we'll all know, because the Facebook channel for the station will post on the Ham Radio Crash Course Facebook group, and that's the fastest way to find out about that. Let's see. Royce says, congrats on extra. I'm just working on my technician, but want to get in the ham stuff. Absolutely. Sounds good. K1 LXU came a little bit late, but I'll catch him up pretty quickly. If you're familiar, FT8 is a digital mode. Mainly, it's just for running contacts. We're not sending any information out there. We're not brokering any kind of important traffic. It's for really just getting contacts and seeing how far your station can propagate and get out there, if you will. So what we're doing is we're using the WSJT-X software to send or be in this special mode called Fox and Hound. And Fox and Hound specifically is for sought after contacts. And I will be activating a sought after contact next month, the Last Man Standing set. And I figured I'd do this video so that anybody who wanted to do that when I'm activating, this is exactly what I'm going to be doing. So run in Hound mode. Make sure you keep it above the 1000 hertz line. And that should be it. Just wait until you see that CQ. That's an important point. We're 44 minutes in and I'm mentioning it. Don't just call the call sign, like reply. Actually wait to see the CQ call before you call the call sign, because it's you might not be able to hear them if they're transmitting. They might not be able to. You're not receiving them. They could be transmitting, but you're not getting them. So I got a runaway watchdog. Means nobody replied to me. We'll let it run a little bit. James Hart said, I can only listen. Is there any action going on the bands right now? I'm listening on 40. Yeah, there's a ton of activity on the bands right now. So, yes, absolutely. RX Sunday. What is that, a spot? Frequency. Oh, I got spotted. Nice. Thank you. Jay says, picked up a Nano VNA the other day. This little guy is really cool. It is pretty cool. For the price, it's hard to beat. What was the setting adjustment on the 7300 for bandwidth? I will show you. So if you're looking at the 7300, in fact, let me switch back over here while this is doing its thing. I only need this much screen to show you. This filter 1, if you hold that down, I'll wait for this to stop transmitting. In fact, I can just stop it. It's not like it really matters. So let's wait for this 15-second cycle to end. By the way, call-ins are still open, so if you want to call in, you just make the show more fun. Anyway, you hold down the filter, and I did this a little bit wrong earlier. It should be right there on filter 1. But anyway, when you're in the hold down, the long press on the filter, you get this whole window here down the bottom. If you click on BW, which stands for bandwidth, you can then rotate the VFO knob and it will lower the bandwidth, which lowers, and you can hear it in the audio tone. Here, now let me open it. It's a difference between like drinking from a fire hose kind of thing. So that's what we want. And you click exit, get out of it, exit, get out of it, and then menu, meter. And that puts you right back into where you want to be. So there's that. It's a little off center. I don't know how that got whacked out, but it looks okay when you're like that. So apparently I cropped one of these and not the other. All right. Oh, I'm not calling. Let me turn it back on. So the one thing I didn't really know about is this max dB. Oh, it's probably the max dB received. So people could be calling me. If I drop that down to 20, what would that do? Let's see. Oh, I see. Yeah. So this basically is saying, like, if you can't pass my threshold, then I'll squelch you out. So if any, well, but see then, well, I think we got everybody. I don't think we left anybody hanging. So that's probably all right. That's interesting. I've never That's interesting. Basically, it's giving people a chance, or it's giving the Fox a chance to like limit the dB, the strength of the transmitting signal that's trying to work them, the hounds that are trying to work them, set the dB to a reasonable level. Richard Hartman says, I can hear KI6NAZ calling CQ. Tony Turtle, I don't believe you're supposed to call CQ. Correct. Tony, you don't call. You need to call. You need to listen for my call. And if you see my call on your WSJTX, double click on it and it'll reply for you. That's okay. If nobody's doing it, if nobody's doing that today. We got the 5 contacts. That was our proof of concept. I'll figure out how to get those into my log. I don't know why they're not in there. That's a little bothersome. I'm going to be running portable. I'll be running off my laptop. So when I'm running off my laptop, I'll have all this sorted out. So where you'll get in the proper logs. Actually, I think the way they do it a little bit differently on Last Man Standing, but your logs will make it there. Don't worry. And let me tell you, if this is all there is to it, Joe from CQ Magazine, or formerly from CQ Magazine, Joe got a little over 100 contacts. I want to beat that. Oh, there it is. Ted W. says, amusingly, the last station I worked on FT8 is KA6LMS. That was Joe. Is it Eisenberg? I think it's Eisenberg. I want to beat him. So if you guys are watching this, set your calendars. The details are in the description, and make sure you get on our Facebook page, because I know we'll be posting all the information there. Right on. All right. What's going on with our... There we go. Good. Yeah, Don, it just might not be the right day for... Oh, you know what? Okay. We're just gonna stop this for a second. If you hear a buzzing noise, don't worry. It's just something warming up. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna shut this down for a second. And can any HF... Oh, Michael Freito, that's a really good question. Can any HF radio do this? You really need a sound card enabled radio that has the ability to do cat control and sound. It could be through a USB port like the 7300, or it could be multiple ports, but that's generally what you need. All right. We're going to do this really quick. Hold on. Let's dial that back. Okay, tuned. Whoop. Wunderbar. All right, here we go. All right, if anybody's still monitoring FT8 and you haven't heard me before, let's see if you can hear me now. You're supposed to be in single sideband. There we go. Why did you not kick over? That's interesting. Hold on. Let's make sure we... Okay. 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 Here we go. There we go. Let's back that ALC off a little bit. Call that amp ALC. Got it in a sweet spot. I'm just curious if you guys can hear me. I don't know if you're going to be able to call me back, but... Okay, using an ICOM 756 and Pro 3. Very good. Well, there's somebody. Somebody heard me. I just needed to give it a little more power. So, KL0PC can hear me now. Wow, okay. I think that was a -1 got him at. Or them, they. Well, hang on, because I just turned the amp on. I only called like CQ once. I hear a wobbly sound. That's about right. That sounds like FT8. Well, it was a bummer that KL0PC was coming in real strong and then the signals totally faded out. So whatever you did to make your signal that strong and then fade out, undo that. You can see it, right? Like hopefully you're watching my video. So your first one, see how clear that was? So either it's you or it's just the whole So you're there, there's your second one, and then this one's quiet, quiet, quiet. Turn the amp back on, Heath. The amp I'm using is an AL811H, and I did a video on it. If you want to search, actually, if you search for AL811H, you probably will get my video. But if you pull it up from my my channel, you'll definitely see it. Yeah, so I'm not gonna. I'm trying not to step on some conversation. So, by the way, the YouTubers Forum, YouTubers Bunch, that we do with Jason, I absolutely love those shows. I'm so glad Jason does them. And part of the reason is I don't have to do anything other than show up, drink beer, and talk and have fun. You know, when I set these live streams up, it's a lot of work, right? In some cases, this was not one of those cases. This was a case of necessity. So thank you for sticking through this with me while I did this necessitative thing, because I needed to sort this out for doing Last Man Standing. But a lot of the time, Jason's in the house. Awesome. I like just showing up and talking and just having fun. Jason does all the heavy lifting, man. So I'm glad we could dump some work on Jason's lap. Literally, that is a man who has more content than time to edit all his stuff that he has. That is, but I love the fact that he's in the house. I love it. Oh, good stuff. Okay, well, we couldn't make that contact work. That's okay. I'm going to turn this down. So that's basically it in a nutshell. That's what I'll be using. Richard Hartman says hearing you in Indiana, so that's pretty good. There you go. Ham Radio 2.0 says some of the most fun I've had on videos. I agree. I have a lot of fun with those, and I'm glad you do them. So what I'm going to do is, because it's Chinese New Year and I do got to get out of here after a little while, I'm going to wrap up the stream. I got to give the shout out to the Patreon, but we are going to go to the Discord after chat. I'm still going to do that. I'll still kick it off. I'll still do the introductions and introduce the new people, or ask them to introduce themselves if they're willing to do so. And then I'll let you guys at it, but I'm going to hop back in and out throughout the night as you know, it's a party. I'm not supposed to just be playing radio all night. As much as I'd love to just hang out and do that, but that is the reality of the life that I lead. Not going to happen every weekend, but a couple of them through the year. I'll have to bow out of the after chat a little early. So, with that said, all right, let's flip her over here. Again, thank you everybody for watching. If you haven't already, click the thumbs up. I do appreciate it. But to my patrons, I thank you, particularly the producer level, all of them, but the producers, thank you so much for going that extra mile. And if you're interested at all in the Patreon stuff, it starts at $1, and that gets you my newsletter that I post once a month, and then any of the side stuff, like behind-the-scenes pictures. I don't do a ton of those, I admit, but I do post a lot of stuff that I'm thinking about, and the newsletters are often kind of a window to future videos that I'm making or stuff that I'm working out. This last one in particular, you're going to see a lot of new videos from just that content alone. If I can get more time. My problem is I just don't have enough time. I am full of ideas, not enough time. Anyway, big thank you to Carrie Blackwell, Jason Brown, Jason Siebert, David Dancero, Danny Miller, Wesley Magyar, Barbara Schrock, Will Ladd, Evan Hartman. Where's Evan? I'll see him or talk to him in a little bit if he's in the after chat. Franklin Lewis, Brad Snyder, Dennis Dunderdale, Garrett Larson, Jonathan Franson, 86 DM Dennis, the man. I like Dennis a lot. His Slack chat that he's got is a lot of fun. The Wyoming Ham, Randall Hensley, Dennis Mickelson, George Gaini, Andy, Kenny Miyamoto, Ron Thorson, Ken Hall, Sean Bales, KG7ITX, Dragetchevik. I hope you haven't sent me a message since I've been saying it that way, so I'm assuming I'm doing something right. Anyway, I hope so. Chad, Rob Zerge, Devin B. Hedge, Mark Chase, Raymond Cracker, Geraldo Kelso, Rob K8BCR, Lee Harrell, Michael Kearney, Steve Barker, Mark Fields, Corey Sheldon, Brad Nadow, Stephen Hunt, Connard Carroll, Mike Marusin, Mike Heerley, Harald Carpenter, the Brew Crew. I guess I finished my second. I try to only go through one during a normal live stream, but I did pass my extra, so I'll take that with that second one. Stephen Hunter, Justin Rao, Stephen Carduz, Brian Fairbanks, Richard Smith, Hercules, KC1LZR, Mike Zarrett, John Flowers, Steve Blandford, Tom Wright, the Tan Hat, Mike McCarty, Good Game Bees, who definitely I saw in the chat. Good Game, have you been on the after chat? I don't think there's an excuse for not to be in the after chat. If you have been, I apologize if I'm not thinking correctly. David Gerald, Simon Deards, like beards, Nicholas Dubé, Michael Iafreto, I hope I'm saying that correctly too, Don Riley, Daniel Sullivan, Jace Ravenfield, and Masi Madi. And I hope I said that right too. Wow, a lot of names that not necessarily the thing for this Southern California person. All right, guys, that will do it. I am heading over to the Discord after chat. Hope you join me over there. And if you don't want to get on the Discord after chat, you don't have to. I'm going to turn on Twitch, and there'll be a stream similar to this, but it'll include the voice signals, the voice audio from Discord. So you can watch me over there if you don't want to hop into Discord. That's another way to do it. All right. I am Josh, KI6NAZ/AE. Maybe there will be a Vanity in the future. I am uncertain at this time. I will talk to you later, everybody. It was a good talk to you. Gong hei fa choi, sun yin fai lok, and then if you're Vietnamese, chip mung nam moi. Anyway, happy New Year, and I will talk to you